Hello, beautiful people.
And welcome to the Innerscape podcast with me, Judith.
And with me, Tina. Hi, Judith.
Hi, Tina.
And hello, and welcome to all of our listeners. We are thrilled to kick things off, diving into our second topic today.
Hi, everyone. As we progress through January, some of our big resolutions, dreams, and hopes for the new year might have already started to fade, or we might struggle to integrate them into our normal life. Today, Tina and I are excited to introduce a super efficient tool that will help you to keep on track with your goals, make decision making a breeze, and revolutionize how you approach challenges. Now let's delve deep into the light and heavy tool and its various aspects.
So, what is light and heavy tool? If it's light for you, it's true for you. If it's heavy, then it's not. This tool was a game changer for us, Judith and me. We struggled a lot when this tool came to our lives, and it was really, really helpful. So when many of us feel stuck in life at some point, you just wish for some lightness, but you don't know how to access it. I think many of us is full of fixed point of views, what is actually easy and what is actually heavy. I think the best is to clear this out in our heads. So do we actually let ourselves to have ease in our lives, or do we just play victims because that is more comfortable than to actually step out in the change? Did you ever ask yourself, how can I have more ease in my life?
The light and heavy tool is one of the fundamental tools used in access consciousness. Now you probably wonder, what is access consciousness? Access consciousness, founded by Gary Douglas and Dr. Dane here, it's a practical set of tools and techniques designed to empower people to create positive changes in their lives. This method is based on questioning everything. It believes that asking a question gives you an awareness of what could be possible, of the choices you could have. So let's get back to the light and heavy tool.
So what is actually true for you will make you feel light. It will be light and spacious and full of possibilities. So if something is heavy, it will be heavy as a rock and it will weigh you down, and you will feel that you're stuck and you don't know how to get out of it. When you face a decision, ask yourself, does this feel light or heavy? And your body will have a response with a sensation, guiding you towards what aligns with your true desires. So how does it actually work? Light and heavy tool is a simple yet effective way to tap into your awareness and make choices that are more aligned with what truly works for you. The idea is that when you ask a question or consider a choice, your body will automatically give you a sensation of either lightness or heaviness. Judith, could you explain a little bit how to use this tool?
To use this tool, you can ask a question and pay attention to the sensation you perceive in your body. If the choice or option feels light, it is an indication that is true or aligned with what is best for you. If it feels heavy, it might not be the best choice for you at that moment.
Think about when you feel that your heart is really heavy, or your stomach is like contracted. This is something like a heavy feeling that we could connect this to. Or when you have butterflies in your stomach and you're super excited and you have this instant lightness in your body that you feel like you could fly, this is something that we would call light.
Yeah. What I realized during my journey with this tool is that the light and heavy tool also helps you to connect to yourself in a deeper level. because some of us might call it intuition, sixth sense, gut feeling, or if you're religious, you might feel in a way that this is how you connect to God. But when you listen to your inner guidance, you will know what's right and you can apply to your new goals and intentions. Many times we let ourselves to be influenced and distracted by external factors, peer pressure, what society or our environment approves, what is supposed to be the right or sensible. But most of the time, you know it, you just feel it, you know what's right for you. But Tina, let's give our listeners some personal examples from our lives to help them understand what we're talking about here. So can you
Yeah,
please give me a couple of examples for lightness in your life?
sure. I had one recent example when I had a little accident with my butter knife that was falling on my feet and it cut my skin. And basically, what was the problem in this story that I was supposed to fly the other day to celebrate my mother's 60th birthday, and my feet got infected, so I was in so much pain, and I basically had two choices. If I stay at home, because I live in Switzerland, so I supposed to fly back to Hungary. So I had the choice to stay at home and cry about it and just feel sorry for myself. Yeah. Or pull it together, let it go, and take the flight. And what was kind of happening in me is that, okay, I really have a choice here. I feel that if I was going down, I was miserably failing with all the tools that I've learned. But then my inner voice was telling me, come on, let it go. Your mother's 60th birthday surprise party is more important. And just in a second, I changed my whole attitude about the thing. So I took the flight and I was joking with my fiancé about it constantly. We were making videos how ridiculous I'm looking at the airport with my huge feet covered in 3 socks. And I just love this feeling when you feel like you're in control, that I just go down, but I didn't, because I made the choice to make fun of it. And even though you're suffering, you can still feel happy.
That's incredible what you just said here, because you had a painful accident that nearly ruined your holidays, but you choose to take it easy, to feel light about it. And as I understand well, you're really happy that you made this choice because you
Yeah,
technically
definitely.
prioritized there because you thought, okay, your mom's birthday is more important. So you decided to choose lightness. And what is your opinion about it now? How do you feel about making this choice? Was it hard? Was it easy? Or are you happy that this is what you choose?
I'm definitely happy that that's what I chose, because I remember that many times in my life I would have chosen to go down and just to suffer, just to feel like a victim. It's more comfortable. That's what we're used to. And I think choosing lightness, choosing to make fun of it after it feels good, but in the moment you cannot think about it in this way. And I'm happy that I was thinking that that's gonna help me out. If I'm gonna make this joke, if I accept the situation, that's gonna help me to change the whole thing. And yeah, I had a good time. Everyone was making fun of me. The pain was disappearing day by day, and yeah, I didn't ruin my whole trip because of one misfortunate event.
And was it like stepping out of your comfort zone, because as you mentioned, I couldn't agree more that many times we choose heaviness because this is what we know, this is what we identify with, and we think that this is how we're supposed to feel.
Yeah, I mean, considering that I also come from a country where people like to feel like victims, I think Hungarians are really good at it to see the bad side of things and be pessimistic about things. And I have this family culture as well. And I was like, originally I'm not like this, but you take people's energy and you see, you learn, and you just start to imitate whatever is around you. So to be honest, now looking back, I'm like, why would I ever choose happiness? Why would I ever choose to suffer? Why would I ever choose to be a victim? But in the moment, you don't really think about this. That's why I feel that I was actively using in this moment the light and heavy tool to ask questions of myself and to really look at it from a different angle. So I think that was true for me. That's
So
why I
as you,
choose this.
so as you say, you trained yourself, which is very good news to all of us, that it's something that we can learn, even if
Definitely.
if it doesn't come
Yeah,
naturally.
I'm not someone perfect, a Buddha Zen master here.
Well, not
I'm
yet. You're
still
not yet,
just
but you're definitely an inspiration to all of us. So thank you, Tina.
thanks.
Can you tell us another example where you chose lightness?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about my traveling years to mention because I was really in my element when I was traveling around the world. Like 3 years ago, I had this kind of vagabond lifestyle, and now I'm settled in Zurich. So I was used to living in different countries, living in different cities, living van life, or just living out of a suitcase and sleeping in tents. And this was something that was really easy for me, even though from outside it looks like a super difficult life. For me, it was freedom and it was happiness and lightness. It's true that it's really hard and difficult. For example, each night when I was living in this van with my fiance, we had to look for water to drink and cook with. And if we were lucky, we could take a shower as well. But we never knew where we could sleep. So we had to find places where it's not illegal, but sometimes we had to risk that as well. If it's safe from animals, bears, cougars, if it's safe from the police. So when other people would see this as something uncomfortable, for me, this was really representing freedom and the exact lifestyle that I was meant to have. I'm also thinking that what is light and heavy for me, it is not the same for other people. So I really recommend that you take a deep look inside and get connected with yourself and just be honest what is actually light and heavy. I think as we were talking about this, we are so influenced by our society, by our families, by our culture that sometimes we just cannot decide if it's ours or not. If this conception is coming from someone else and then I just adopted it, or it's actually my truth.
That's so true. That's absolute God, what you just said there, because as you said,
Thank you.
many people would find the financial uncertainty or not knowing where they sleep the next day scary or even unimaginable. But there was something very easy for you, and this is why it's important to tune in with ourselves and ask what is true for us, not for the other
Yes,
people.
exactly. Yeah, thank you to highlight fear because it's something that that moves many of us to act from fear. And yeah, just thank you for mentioning this part. I totally missed that.
You're welcome. £10. I
Dear
charge for regular advice. Charge you 50 quid for counseling.
Do you count the exchange rate from Swiss franc?
Yeah, I calculate some interest for you.
Okay, thanks. But what about you, Judith? I'm curious about your examples for lightness. You also had some recent events that was affecting your life.
Yes, I like to give slightly different examples to the audience for lightness, because I normally use this tool in decision making. I have always found it difficult to make decisions because of the consequences, fear of failure, lack of confidence, or lack of information. And this tool has absolutely changed my life in this matter. I will give 2 examples now for decisions that I made, asking myself whether or not I feel light about it. One of them was quitting my job in May. I knew that I was unhappy there. It didn't align with my lifestyle, with my aspirations, and I had physical symptoms. I struggled with gastritis and acid reflux for long months prior to my resignment. And I played with the idea of quitting. I didn't have any new plan. I didn't have a new job in the picture just yet. But I wrote my resignation letter and saved it on my computer. And I just wanted to see how I feel about this decision. And I instantly felt so much lighter. My sleep improved. My tummy issues instantly disappeared. And that was a decision that I made by using this tool. And I'm still very happy that this is what I did, because that was true for me.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I didn't have a new job in the picture, I didn't have too much savings or not a clear plan. I just knew that wasn't working for me anymore. And I knew that I had to leave in order to clear my head and feel positive again. And I also believe that when I feel well, then I re-energize myself and I will attract great things into my life. And this is what happened. So I'm just happy that I went along with this plan.
Yeah, and how crazy is that? That's the hardest decision, to quit a job. It's one of the hardest in life, and that's what's bringing you lightness and spaciousness. Just the idea of that, how we look at it so differently. What is easy and light, heavy and stuck. In your case, everything changed. You felt the most lightness when you made the hardest decision.
Yes, but I also think that making a super difficult decision doesn't have to be heavy.
Exactly.
It's the same that when something feels easy, it doesn't mean that it's light for you. Maybe it's easy to stay in a life situation, stay in your apartment or in a well-established relationship or at a workplace. You might have a clear career path, but that's not necessarily life for you, and that's not necessarily true for you. I mean, just look around. So many people are unhappy just because they fear to make what feels like a big decision. But once they make that, like, There is this saying that you never really regret something you did. You usually regret not making the step. So I believe that,
Yeah,
and I believe
missing
in
out.
change, I in flexibility, and I believe that you have to take the courage if you want
Yeah.
magic happen. It's not going to happen in your comfort zone.
And I mean, I had a similar situation as well, and this is how we got to this podcast together. So that
Yes.
is something. That's magic.
Yes, and my other example is how I came up with the idea to make a podcast with you, Tina. Just one day, on that one summer day in the UK, I was reading in the garden and I just had this epiphany that I wanted to make a podcast. I didn't have a plan, absolute zero technical knowledge, didn't know anything about equipment, softwares, no future intention, not a business idea, nothing. I had this sudden urge in me that I haven't had a straight path. I spent 17 years working hard on my self-development. I ran from doctors to doctors to alternative methods to cure my physical problems. I completed therapies and educated myself to overcome some traumas and to improve myself. And I felt that I have accumulated valuable knowledge that I have something to give to people. And I instantly knew that I wanted you, Tina, to be my partner on this journey. So I just left you a voice message, so I
Aw.
remember that, hey, let's do a podcast. And you said yes, and then here we are. And as I said, there was nothing behind it, and I can't believe that we have made it. This is our second episode and everything is ready. And
Yay! I can't believe
yes,
it either.
and this also proves that when something is true for you, the universe steps up and supports you in every way possible. It will draw people and it will be so easy to make it happen. This is something that happened to my partner a couple of years ago, that he was really unhappy at his job and he had this lifelong dream to be a designer. And then he just started a course and bought the equipment, and now he has become a designer, and it didn't seem easy to fit it all into his lifestyle, but he made it because that was true for him. And this is what I'd like to encourage everyone to follow, that intuition, that inner voice, because it speaks to you. The truth in you desperately wants to come into the light. You just have to open your heart to it.
So beautifully said. Yeah. And it makes me think, if something is too comfortable, then maybe that's heaviness, because you also tend to give examples to make hard decisions, but with lightness. So anything that scares us, that where we just sit back and then we are scared to do anything bigger than what we can ever dream of, then that's heaviness, no?
There is this saying in English that a smooth sea doesn't make a skilled sailor. I love these proverbs. So I think we might have been annoyingly positive. So let's give some before we freak out.
Let's ruin
how,
everything.
yes, how zen we are. Let's give some examples to heaviness. So Tina, can you tell me a couple of examples where you face heaviness in your life?
Of course I can.
How much time do you have?
I mean, it was not even so long time ago. We're talking like we know everything and we're using these tools perfectly all the time. But
And
no,
then
just
yesterday happened.
and then yesterday happened. So there was an amazing ski trip for me yesterday, and yeah, I've been talking with Judith about this, that it was amazing, how proud I was at myself that I was not using the tools that I've learned. So yeah, from the beginning of the day, everything was going down. I made so many, not even mistakes. I just made so many choices that was not turning out very well. I had a lot of problem with my ski boots. I was falling constantly. Anyway, I'm not
Because you
going to go
went
into this.
skiing.
I went skiing, yeah,
Yeah.
a ski trip.
That sounds like a struggle, Tina, skiing in Switzerland.
I mean, it might look good on movies, but how I do it, it's a nightmare. I'm a beginner and I don't really know how to ski technically. End of the story. So what was happening inside me is that even though I was not giving up, I was every challenges I took like, okay, I don't care. I'm going to try again. I'm going to try again. Okay, the boots are not coming off. It's okay. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to enjoy the view. There's a huge windstorm. I cannot see anything, so I cannot enjoy the view. It doesn't matter. I'm going to try to go down alone on the ski slopes and not waiting for the others. Anyway, it was not working out at all. So I gave up. I was like, it's not gonna get any better. Tomorrow is another day. But I was just sitting. I went back to the car because I gave up. So I let the others to ride, and I was just feeling sorry for myself, and I hated everything about skiing, and I blamed all these Swiss rich people to ski since they were 5, so they know better when you learn skiing as a 30 years old like me. I was judging everyone. I was judging myself, that how can I be such a loser and that I'm not able to do anything properly, blah, 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 blah. You know that you're going down on this road. And what happened is that I knew that I know the tools light and heavy, and I was using this so many times, and it got me out of really, really deep depressive moments successfully. But this time I just couldn't use it, and I couldn't let it go to punish myself for not using it. So here I would like to mention that you should practice every time the light and heavy tool, but in case it doesn't work out or you're not able to use it, don't blame yourself. Trust me, you're going to make it worse. And you're going to go down this road to judge yourself, to hate yourself. And this is not the tool. Light and heavy tool is an honesty tool. You should feel it. You should honestly feel lightness. You should honestly choose ease. Otherwise, you're just going to create more heaviness if you go against yourself or the situation.
You mean if you don't allow yourself to feel heavy or to
Exactly.
feel angry or jealous, as you mentioned,
yeah,
or
because
all what we label negative feelings. So you're saying that we have to allow ourselves to have these negative feelings also, to have a free flow,
because
instead
these
of suppressing them.
These things gonna happen in life anyway. Light and heavy tool helps us to choose something better. It helps us to not being dragged down by our own emotions. Bad things happen, good things happen. It doesn't matter. It's really your choice how you're gonna look at it. And it's really possible to get out of difficult situations feeling joyful. I'm sure everyone felt this once, at least in their lives, that they just didn't want to make a big deal out of it, so they just let it go. And it was as simple as that. And those moments when and you just want to dwell on it and make a big fuss about something that shouldn't be that big of a deal, like a bad skiing day or a bad day.
Okay, thank you. And what is your other example?
The other example is something that many people can relate to, I think.
So it's not skiing in Switzerland.
You make it sound like it's an amazing
I don't know, I've never
thing.
skied. I just see it in the movies. It looks fun.
Exactly. And they should stay there. No, actually, my other example is connected to finances. Because I had this kind of mentality about money that you will have more if you're attached to it, if you don't spend it, if you just constantly save and save and save. And again, coming from my culture, my family, blah blah blah. But this was something that changed when I met my fiancé, technically, because he has this French mentality of kind of not overspending, but I think in their culture and in his family culture, they like to treat themselves. They like to reward themselves. So he would choose to let out a lot of money with ease, and also he was able to receive it if someone was offering money. I mean, like if you offer a coffee for someone or if you invite them for dinner, this is also kind of connected to finances. And for me, it was always something difficult. I didn't like to let it out of my hands if it was to reward me, like to buy clothes for me or buy something extra that is not in my daily survival expenses. And it was also hard for me to let it in. So I didn't want to accept from anyone a little kindness, like to buy me a croissant or something. Croissant, like what is this example? I have a French fiance. Okay.
I love it. Omelette.
But and then baguette, of course.
Baguette.
So I didn't like when someone invites me for anything because I felt then I'm gonna owe them. There was this stiffness in my financial mentality, or yeah. So what happened is when I met him, I started to accept more because I was asking myself what this choice will create in my life. If I'm buying this 5 seeds bread, what are these examples?
I know you're very obsessed with gluten today.
My biggest struggle in life is bread and croissant. That's why I have only these examples. Sorry for that. So anyway, I was just thinking the other day that I don't really have enough money, so I don't want to overspend on stupid things like a 5 seeds bread. I can just buy the white one, which is half the price. But if I ask myself truly, just in front of the bread, does this gonna create something more in my life if I buy this instead of the shit one? And to be honest, if it does, then just do it, just go for it. And my answer was yes, because I know that I'm gonna be healthier. I'm not gonna have any gut issues, like from the white bread. So I'm gonna make this choice because if I'm healthier, if I'm happier, just from this choice, then I'm gonna create something better, right? So for me, it's as simple as that.
So you're saying you need to create an energy flow with money, because when you spend money, you open up possibilities. You're technically investing into yourself. So what you say, when you treat yourself, you feel happier, so you will feel more energetic, you will perform better, you will just probably have more prosperity in your life.
Yeah, Thank you again to
That
put me
sounds
back on the right track. Exactly what I wanted to say. You just said it more beautifully, but yeah, this money flow that I wanted to connect to, the heaviness, because I feel that many of us has this type of mentality either way. And when you let out more money of your life, then more will flow in. So there's going to be this nice energy flow, because what is money? Money is just energy. We just put a meaning to it, and that's all. It's just currency. It's nothing. I think it's the same with everything, with lightness and all other possibilities. When you let this flow, then it's gonna create more, and you're not gonna feel stuck and heavy. You're gonna feel light. Doesn't matter if nice things or not so nice things happen to you. It's gonna be in a natural balance.
I guess the question is that when you buy something that you don't essentially need, the question is if it creates something more, or if it adds value to your life.
Yes. I mean, we can limit ourselves to make poor choices, either to save money or to just feel sorry for ourselves and be stuck on one level, or we can think about it as an investment in ourselves and choose something bigger. So like that, we can create a bigger life. If we choose always small things, then we're just going to create small life.
Good to remember it.
So what about you, Judith?
It's a bit hard for me to talk about where I face heaviness, not because of admitting my flaws, but wanting to provide solutions. One of them is social anxiety, which perhaps derives from an anxious attachment style that formed in my early childhood. Although I connect to people easily and have several close friends, I feel really nervous in group settings. I'm often worried about what people might think of me, if they like me. I want to make sure everyone is well and having a good time. And I have a feeling that a lot of people can find this seeking of approval familiar. But I managed to learn not to take everything personally. For example, when someone is upset, it's not necessarily because of me. And everyone is responsible for themselves to have a good time. The challenge here is that I live a pretty outgoing lifestyle despite this anxiety. I attend frequent events through dancing or working in the show business, traveling solo, etc. Maybe at first instinct, it would seem safer to stay at home and avoid social events. But I also don't want to miss out on things and want to live a fulfilling life. So I apply the fake it till you make it concept and turn up at events smiling, bubbly, pretending I'm at ease, until it gradually started to feel that way. So now with a lighter topic, I also have lots of heaviness with my family. I don't get
Oh,
along.
that's the lighter. Okay.
Yeah, that's the lighter. I couldn't choose which one to start with. I have a difficult relationship with my mom and with my dad's new family as well, and I have learned to lower my walls. This is a very important tool that everyone can practice to lower your walls whenever you face happiness, because I think we tend to stress ourselves before an actual event or a situation because we expect the worst. We expect people to attack us, to judge us, but do we actually judge ourselves? Do we accept ourselves? Do we accept the other person? I had to ask this question. Do I go to visit my family expecting that there will be a fight? Or what happens if I just go there and decide I'm going to have fun? And I did it. this summer, I went home for a longer period of time and I decided I'm going to enjoy myself. I chose the events and I stayed at places that worked for me, that I believed that would contribute to just a better relationship with everyone. And it worked out. I think they sensed this ease on me because my relationship have improved with my dad's new family as well with my mom, because I changed. I started the change that I wanted to see in them.
Yeah, and I'm happy that you mentioned this lowering your walls, because out of fear and protection, we build up all these walls and we don't let them down, even when it's not necessary anymore to have them up. We put it up against good and bad, so nothing can get through. And what you say that you did is that you made this choice to accept everything, who your family is, what they do, how they react, and you're gonna be yourself without those protective walls. So you're not gonna, those walls are built of heavy bricks that are protecting you from the things that happened between you and your family, all the shit that you got from them, all the hurt by words or whatever, actions, and then you build them up to protect. But the moment that you decided to let it down, you opened another possibilities for you and your family to change the relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's amazing.
Well, I think that when you change your approach to these situations and you choose to be compassionate and see the goodness in other people and see that they probably mean well and they try their best, that changes a lot. This is what access consciousness is about, is that when you don't insist on your rigid opinion and your point of view, that gives you an awareness of what could be possible, of what choices you can make. Because when you ask questions like, how could it be better? Or what is there that I'm not seeing? And questions like this, then you don't insist on a stiff point of view. It is just an interesting point of view, what you have.
Yes. And now we could talk about solutions as well, because we've been talking a lot of heavy examples to help you understand. I'm glad that you mentioned the interesting point of view as well, because it's another solution when you feel heaviness in your life. These are connected tools to light and heavy tool, the lowering our walls and barriers tool, and the interesting point of view tool. These are connected to, as you just said, access consciousness, and they're all built on each other. Interesting point of view, and also all the other tools that you're using here, they are kind of repetitive practices. So it's good to ask yourself in moments like you're facing a family dinner and you're feeling uncomfortable and people are judging you, that why you still don't have any kids, why you're still not married, and amazing questions like this, then you can practice 4-7 times. Normally should work. So you can practice interesting point of view, that you have this point of view. Interesting point of view, that you have this point of view. And you keep repeating it, but with lightness and curiosity and zero judgment. Because the point is not to make it, never say this out loud, only in the head, otherwise it's gonna end up in the opposite direction. So in your head, repeat this, and at some point when you truly say it with honesty and zero judgment and just curiosity, it's gonna dissolve. And trust me, try this. Don't believe us. Just try it.
Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah, because when you practice this, then You avoid taking everything personally, and also letting other people to judge you or to judge yourself, because I think we tend to be very harsh on ourselves. When someone says something completely innocent, then we might misinterpret it, and because of our previous experience and associations, we we take it as an attack. But that's just an interesting point of view what they have. It doesn't have to affect you in any way, or even it can be your interesting point of view that can be changed. Just because you find heaviness with some topics in your life,
Yeah.
that doesn't have to remain that way. You can change it, you can see it in a different way.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so if someone really wants to dig deep into this light and heavy tool, there is a clearing statement that can be applied to heaviness. I don't think we should elaborate on it too much because it can sound way too spiritual and way too elusive. If you're curious about it, you can research Light and Heavy Tool Clearing Statement, which is a series of words and phrases that act as a linguistic shortcut to unlock and release the energy that is creating limitations in your life. And I think that's about this because that would require a whole other episode. If you're interested, do your research. It could be useful for you. There's something else I wanted to mention before you come with the homework, Stina, if that's okay.
Of course.
What I've been thinking of a lot lately is a question that can be used very effectively in achieving your goals. And it is, when I make a decision, I always think, what kind of future does it create? Does that future seem true for me? Is that future is true for you? Does it feel light? Maybe today you don't want to work 8 hours on your portfolio. But how do you feel about the future this decision creates? Because you don't like your job, you feel stuck in your current situation, and you have this dream to become a photographer or a graphic designer, and you have to create a portfolio. And maybe today you feel lazy or tired, or you're just not in the mood. But does that decision create a light future? Or another example, maybe waking up early seems difficult and heavy, but if you skip that morning exercise or physiotherapy, will your future feel light? If you want to achieve a fitness level or heal a lower back hernia pain, when you think of your future and you feel the lightness in the future when the pain is gone or your plus weight is gone, then your seemingly heavy decision today can turn 180 degrees and suddenly feel light. So I really recommend you to use this tool because it is very efficient.
Yes, it does work instantly.
So Tina, you
All
have some
right.
homework for us.
As always, yes. So, my little bossy self is back again. So, we would like to invite you to do a few exercises just to get the hang of this light and heavy tool.
250 push-ups. Does it feel light? Sorry, wrong slide. That's my morning exercise.
So we would like to invite you to do this exercise or game as you feel. Recognize 3 areas of your life where you already feel lightness. Have a look at your past, have a look at how you feel, what comes to your mind first, and put it in writing, or just say it out loud, at least to yourself or someone. and really acknowledge them and tap your shoulder, because you're already doing good in that department. And I would like to also invite you to find 3 areas of heaviness in your life that you would like to work on.
Thank you, Tina. And I think we're
Yes,
ready.
have fun with it.
Yeah, I think we're ready for a wrap. As we conclude today's discussion, let's embrace the idea that ease is the source of creation.
And just remember that we are providing you with tools to create a better life, but you have to do the work. You have to put in time and effort to actually create your desired life, because nobody else is going to do it for you. But just to let you know, it is possible. This is a knowledge that is accessible for everyone, and you can actually build a life that you have dreamed of.
And as the motto of Access Consciousness states, all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory.
Are you willing to create ease in your life in the midst of the biggest chaos?
And are you willing to welcome any judgment and keep going on living your life with ease, free from everyone else's opinion?
What is the one choice that you can make today that would create the life that you desire the most? May 2024 be a year of ease, joy, and endless possibilities.
And thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's show, please share this episode with anyone who might need to hear it and leave us a comment and a review. Follow us on Spotify or subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support helps us reach more people seeking this transformative knowledge. So thank you.
Until next time, stay light, stay true, and thank you.